An angry cop slaps Joker's hat off. What comes next? Crowd doesn't expect from Joker. They say every city hides a moment it wishes it could erase. But ours had that night. The night an angry cop slapped Joker's hat off in front of an entire crowd. A single hit, a single second. Yet that moment didn't just knock off a hat. It knocked loose something inside him, something the city had buried for years. People thought they were watching a clown humiliated. What they didn't know was that the cop had just awakened the most dangerous kind of justice, the kind delivered by a man who laughs only to hide the broken pieces beneath. And what came next was nothing the crowd could ever expect. The night smelled of rain and rust, the kind of air that clings to your lungs and reminds you that the city is slowly decaying under its own weight. People gathered around the street corner not because they cared, but because people love a spectacle, especially when it means watching someone else get dragged through the dirt. And tonight's spectacle was painted in white makeup and a crooked smile. Joker stood still as the angry cop pushed through the crowd, his boots slapping the pavement with a force that carried more ego than authority. Joker wasn't performing, not tonight. He was simply walking home, humming a broken tune only he seemed to understand. Yet the cop, Officer Rourke, saw the makeup, saw the reputation, and saw an easy target for his frustration. "Take that stupid hat off!" Rourke barked. Joker didn't reply. He just tilted his head, the bells on his purple hat jingling softly, annoyingly, calmly, like a mockery of authority simply by existing. The crowd leaned closer, sensing the heat rising. Rourke's hand snapped forward. S-L-A-P. The hat flew through the air, spinning like a wounded bird before landing in a puddle. Gasps rippled through the people trapped between curiosity and fear. Joker didn't flinch. He didn't blink. He only stared at the ripples in the dirty water where his hat lay, as if the city had just spit on a part of him no one else saw. Rourke smirked. That smirk would be important later. "You think you're funny?" he growled. Joker's voice slid out like a whisper soaked in ice. "I used to," he said, "but lately, I find people funnier." The cop shoved him hard, expecting resistance, a fight, maybe even one of Joker's infamous outbursts. But Joker only stumbled back and adjusted his jacket. Something shifted in him, not rage, not humiliation, something subtler, far more dangerous. The kind of quiet that comes before the worst kind of storm. There was no punch, no threat, no laughter. Joker simply picked up his hat, shook off the dirty water, and walked away. But the city, like always, misunderstood silence. Because silence was Joker thinking. And when Joker thinks, someone else usually bleeds. 3 hours later, the rain finally broke. Streets emptied, neon lights flickered, and the city exhaled a tired, sickly sigh. Joker sat alone in a dusty old warehouse he often used as a hideout. Not because he needed hiding, but because abandoned places felt more honest than the people outside. He placed the hat on a crate. Water still dripped from its edge. Every time a drop hit the wood, his jaw tightened. He remembered something Rourke probably hoped he'd forgotten. A file Joker once saw, a buried corruption case involving the cop. A case closed under suspicious circumstances. A missing witness. A judge silenced. The kind of secrets the city pretends not to hear. Most people forgot what Rourke had done. Joker never forgets anything that makes him laugh. And hypocrisy always made him laugh the hardest. The warehouse door creaked open. A small figure slipped in, a teenage boy with wide eyes and a backpack full of fear. You told me to come if anything happened," the boy stuttered. Joker nodded. "Something happened?" The boy hesitated. It's Officer Rourke. He took my mom, said she was talking too much, said she needed to learn what happens to people who cross him." Joker's fingers drummed lightly on the crate. His smile wasn't a smile anymore. It was a scar. And what was she talking about? She saw him take money from those guys in the black SUVs. She said she was going to report it. Ah, there it was. The city's favorite game, silence or suffer. Joker rose slowly, as if pulling himself from the weight of the world. He placed his hat on his head with a care the boy couldn't understand. "It fell today," Joker murmured. "What did?" "My hat." He looked at the boy, eyes glinting with something dangerous, something resolute. And when a clown's hat falls, someone usually pushed it. The boy didn't know what that meant, not yet. But the city was about to learn. Rourke's apartment was on the 10th floor, a building protected by more locks than morals. The corridors smelled of cigarette smoke and broken promises. Inside, Rourke poured himself whiskey, satisfied with the power he abused daily. He replayed the moment he slapped Joker's hat off and laughed, a deep, satisfied laugh of a man who thinks he won. Then the lights flickered. Once, twice, then went out. Rourke reached for his gun. A soft jingle echoed behind him. He spun around. Nothing. Just darkness. Then a whisper curled through the room, gentle, almost playful. "You shouldn't have touched the hat." Rourke's breath froze, because he knew that voice. But before he could turn, something cold pressed against the back of his neck. Not a weapon, something worse, a gloved hand. The lights flashed back on for a single second. Enough for Rourke to see Joker standing behind him, and enough for Joker to say the last thing Rourke ever expected to hear. "I'm not here to kill you." Darkness swallowed the room again, and Rourke screamed. Rourke's scream didn't echo far. The apartment walls were too thick, too used to swallowing the sounds of people who thought authority made them untouchable. When the lights flickered back to life, Joker stepped away from the cop, letting him tremble in the corner like a child caught in the dark. Rourke's gun lay on the floor. His hand shook so violently he couldn't even reach for it. What do you want from me?" he spat, trying to hold onto the last scraps of his pride. Joker crouched in front of him, head tilted, hat bells gently chiming with every movement. "I want you to listen." "To what?" Rourke barked. Joker leaned closer, whisper soft. "To yourself." He pulled a small tape recorder from his jacket. Old, battered, but still functional. He pressed play. Rourke's own voice spilled into the room. Threats, bribes, orders, names, confessions not meant for daylight, words spoken in back alleys, in secret rooms, in moments he believed the world wasn't watching. Rourke's face drained of color. How did you... "You talk too much when you drink," Joker said, "and even more when you think no one's listening." Rourke lunged for the recorder, but Joker swung it just out of his reach, smiling like a puppeteer watching tangled strings. "Don't bother," Joker muttered. "I've made copies. One is already on its way somewhere. Safe." Rourke sank back, breath ragged. Okay. What do you want? Money? A deal? My badge? I can give you anything. Just name it." Joker stood, pacing slowly, almost sadly. "You still think this is about the hat, don't you?" Rourke stayed silent. Joker stopped by the window. Rain smeared the glass, turning the city into a watercolor of neon wounds. "A boy came to me tonight," he said quietly. "A good kid. Scared. Because of you." Rourke's eyes widened. "That little brat. His mother lied." "His mother," Joker cut in, "is currently tied up in your storage room at the precinct." Silence. Rourke didn't deny it. He didn't have to. Joker turned and walked toward him, each step measured, each breath controlled. "You slap hats off clowns. You silence witnesses. You threaten families. You think the city belongs to you because you wear a shiny badge." Joker knelt again, but this time there was no smile, no glimmer of humor. "Tonight," he whispered, "I give the city back to the people you stole it from." Rourke's heartbeat thumped like fists against the walls of his chest. "Please," he begged, "I'll disappear. Leave the city. You'll never see me again. Just don't. Don't destroy me." Joker tapped his chin thoughtfully, as if truly considering mercy. Then he shook his head. "No, disappearing is too easy, and I don't do easy." He pulled out his phone and hit a single button. Far away, sirens wailed, louder, closer. Rourke's breathing hitched as realization dawned. No, 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 no. Joker, what did you do? Joker turned toward the door. I gave your colleague something to find, he said simply. What? Joker stopped, smiling at the doorknob. Evidence, records, files, and your voice, saying all the things you never wanted them to hear. Rourke scrambled to his feet. They'll kill me. You don't understand how this works. Those SUVs, those men. Joker, you just started something huge. Joker chuckled lightly. Then you shouldn't have slapped the hat. He reached for the door, but before he opened it, Rourke shouted, Wait! Joker paused. Rourke swallowed hard. His voice broke. There's something you don't know. Joker lifted an eyebrow. I didn't hit you because of the makeup, Rourke said, or the jokes, or the crime reports. I hit you because I was told to. Joker's expression didn't change, but something in the air tightened. By who? He asked. Rourke hesitated. They said you were getting too close to something you shouldn't know. They said if you found out, it would burn the whole city down. Joker smiled softly. Sounds like something I'd enjoy. No, you won't, Rourke insisted desperately. This isn't corruption. This is bigger, older, hidden in places even you haven't laughed in yet. Joker stepped closer, intrigued. A mystery? A warning, Rourke corrected, trembling. They told me to humiliate you if I got the chance, to push you, to make you angry enough to slip because they're watching you. They want you unstable, predictable. They want to use your rage. Joker stared at him without blinking. Rourke whispered, Joker, you're not the hunter here. You're the bait. Joker's grin faded, not because he was afraid, but because the idea made perfect, delicious sense. He placed a hand on Rourke's shoulder, almost kindly. Thank you, he murmured. You've given me something more valuable than revenge. Rourke dared to hope. You'll let me go? Joker tilted his head. Oh no, he said. Don't misunderstand. You're still going to prison, but now your suffering has purpose. Police sirens screeched outside the building. Joker's voice shifted, almost poetic. Every story needs a spark, and tonight, Rourke, you lit the match. He opened the door and came face to face with a figure standing in the hallway, tall, hidden, wearing a dark coat. The figure whispered, We've been waiting for you. And then the lights shut off again. And that was only the beginning. Because in a city built on secrets, the Joker just pulled the first thread, and when the lights return, nothing and no one will look the same again. If you want to witness how deep this darkness goes, how far Joker will walk into the shadows for a truth the city buried, then make sure to subscribe. The next chapter is closer than you think.